Gotta get your mind uncluttered. You gotta have a bigger reason why. And when you have a bigger reason why, you stop giving yourself and allowing yourself to have all these excuses as to why you're not getting it done. So before we get into the 5 points that are going to help you guys with this, I need every single person on here to go ahead and share the live. Go ahead and let's get the like, tap your screen. And today it's going to be very direct and very to the point. The reason being is I've been coaching all morning. Some of you guys have been joining the live where I've talked about 30 to Eden. 30 to Eden has already started. So much so that the people who are participating are not on this live right now. They've got so much homework. They've got so many deliverables when it comes to blowing up their business that I hope and pray that I don't see them in the live. They've got so many things to work on as far as their branding, their strategy, their marketing, their execution. They have so many different things that they need to work on and that they need to deliver on that they're not going to be online, right? It already started. It started this Monday. And I'm really, really excited for the participants. I'm already seeing improvement. Uline, you want to see me in here? Keep it a buck. Jay, you're not in 30 to Eden. Yeah, you're not in here. So I expect to see you online. You didn't register as one of the people that's going to work on their idea. I think maybe you're a professional commenter on TikTok. I don't know. You may not have any business ideas. You may not have anything that you're working on. You know. But for those of y'all watch me talk about it for a month. And at the end of this month, I'm already seeing that in just a few days, they've already been making progress. They're already making changes that are having positive impacts on their business. Their marketing's already getting better. They're already more focused. They're already having aha moments. They're already having breakthrough moments. They're already having things like, oh, this is what's missing. This is what I did wrong. This is what I should have done. This is how this should have gone. They're already having these breakthrough moments. And it's time for you guys to have those breakthrough moments as well. It's time for you guys to have those breakthrough moments as well. So I'm going to share with you guys a few things that I need to make sure that you guys get. So as I said before, we need to have a sense of urgency about taking our ideas to market, blowing up our businesses and getting to the next level. Basically, every single one of us, right, needs to increase our personal standard. That's me included. That's me included. I was sitting there like talking, and I said, Yannick, some of these things you're sharing, and I realized that I got to put some extra time in. I was like, Yannick, you like the hairstylist who hair ain't never done. You so busy doing hair that you ain't took no comb to your head in 4 days. You so booked and busy. You haven't done none of that. You trying to squeeze in time to do everything else. And I realized that I said there's things that I'm sharing with them that I'm like, oh, you got to go through and implement for yourself as well and reconnect with that, because I spend so much time coaching, developing, giving other people's businesses strategies that at times it comes to as a neglect to my own. But that's okay. That's the business that I am in, is serving my clients. But I still have to make time to make sure that my business is receiving the same level of growth and creativity and expansion, all of those things that they are. So what we're going to talk about is things things that are going to help you take that to the next level, and how to put yourself in position, and how I do it, and how I make the money. So the first thing is you have to decide that you want more. You have to increase your personal standard. If the bottom were to fall out of your life, what are the things that would make you nervous? I want y'all to comment. If the bottom falls out of this thing, what would make you nervous about that? What about your life would make you feel unprepared? If the stock market were to crash tomorrow, right, would you have a source of income, or are you completely reliant on your job? If it were to crash tomorrow, if the housing market were to crash, would you be able to buy in? Would you be able to buy some of these things in bulk? If there were another emergency situation, would you have the money to go get supplies? Would your employees be prepared? right? Ultimately, what's the plan? How are things going to get better? What are the things about your life or your business that you don't like, that frustrates you? What makes you feel like, "Oh, I should be further along than this?" What are those things? Y'all put in the comments. What are those things that make you say, I should be further along than this? What are the things that give you pause? What are the things that make you say, man, I wish blah, 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 blah would be better? What are those things? Good. I'm sitting here looking and I'm like, I'm seeing that a lot of my folk that's in there are not um are not online. That makes me very happy to see that many of my registrants are not online. But what are the things that would make you that would give you pause, that would make you nervous? What about your financial life? So the first thing I would recommend is that every single one of you needs to do something to increase your financial standards. How much more money would you like to make? How many more customers would you need? What is it that you need to do? Every single person needs to do something to increase their personal standard. Things change when your standards change. You get the energy when you get sick and tired. RIP Frankie Beverly. Yes, RIP Frankie Beverly. Right? But he lived his life. He had his ideas. He had his business. And y'all, Frankie worked that business until the last moment. Stayed on tour. Stayed booked and busy. Had his vision and he executed that thing. He left nothing left. He left nothing to be desired. Made his music, developed a fan base. He was on every cruise. He was in everybody's city at least once a year, sometimes twice. His family got money. His family has an inheritance. He did what he set out to do. But have you? So what is that going to be? You got to have a plan. Every single one of you guys right now, you need to have a plan on how to get yourself more financially astute. What is the thing about your finances that worry you? If it worries you, it's very likely that you don't have a plan for it. What are the things that worry you? Some of you guys have ideas that you haven't executed on yet. If you have ideas that you haven't executed yet, or you're having difficulty deciding what that is, go to the link in my bio, click Cultivating Vision and Strategy Workbook. It is a workbook that I use for every single client, right? Every single client, to where they can establish a vision. A vision shows you what you should be working towards today, tomorrow, all this year. It gives you a purpose behind your time. It gives your life meaning, and it makes sure that you never get to the point to where you feel like, man, what's the point of all of this? I don't ever want any person that I come in contact with to ever get to the point to where they feel like their life and their activities don't have meaning. If you feel like that, or you feel like you're overwhelmed, or you're confused, you don't know which way to go, how you should do things, how you should feel, you want things to be different, but you don't know how they should be different. I'm not going to tell you that I'm going to have a magic formula and say, go do this. But what I'm saying is there's something in you and you know what it is. We just got to pull it out. Click the link in my bio, click Cultivating Vision and Strategy, download the workbook today, purchase it today, download it, and fill it out. Every single one of you guys who downloads it today and who fills it out today, you can email it back to me and I will give you direct feedback and direct coaching just on your vision workbook completely for free. Every single one of you guys who purchases the workbook during this live and you send it to me, meaning you're not just doing all of this, you send it to me and email it to me, and I will give you direct feedback on that and give you next steps. Hey, this is what I would do. Feels like you're undervaluing yourself. Seems like you need some work in this area. This is a great idea. This is where I would start. Here's someone that can point you in the right direction. This is a recommendation. This is someone that I already know that's in your field that you can, use as a white rabbit to kind of give you, to glean off of. So those of you who do it, and as a matter of fact, let me pull up my email. Those of you who do that right now during this live and you fill it out today, meaning you not all this and this just doesn't become something else that you download that you never look towards and that you never finish. This thing gets results. I have a client of mine who filled out this same workbook before in 2018. And one of the things that she put on there was she wanted her music to be featured on television. I was sitting that same year in my bed watching Insecure, watching one of it, and one of her songs played from this same exact workbook. Same goals, same everything, and watched her vision come to life. She did that at the beginning of the year in January 2018, and I believe it was 2018. And by the end of the year, that song was playing on Insecure, this same exact workbook. This little $25 workbook. And now she's making money every single time one of y'all watched that episode of Insecure. I think she had 2 of them on there. Every time it plays, she makes money. Think about it. Millions of people watch that show. Right? The Lord tells us, write the vision and make it plain, and all who see it may run from it. Meaning, you need to write the vision down so that way whoever's involved, they know what to do. The first person who needs to know what to do is you. You are the first person who needs to know what to do. You're the first person. If you out here feeling like you're wasting time, if you're binge watching television shows every day, if your screen time is over 4 hours a day, really 3 hours a day on social media and things like that, you don't know what to do with yourself. Or you don't like what you're doing and you're using television and social media and everything to escape from it. Download the workbook today. Go to the link in my bio. It's called Cultivating Vision and Strategy. Here, I'm going to show y'all what it looks like. And do it. This year, y'all, if you didn't get anything else from the debate last night, the debate is ain't nobody going to take care of you but you. You and Jesus. It's up to y'all. And he's sending you the directions every day. Some of y'all, he directed you here. Every single person was born with a gift and a purpose. And if you don't pull that thing out, you're gonna live life feeling like your life has no meaning. You're gonna waste a lot of time. If there was one thing that I feel like I can get back from my 20s, or I would like to get back from my 20s, it would be my time. Time I wasted. Let me show y'all what this looks like. We are one. Who talked about Frankie Beverly? Now you got me thinking about it. All right. So when you go to the link in my bio, this is what it says. Hi, I'm Yanique Medor, and I help pull the destiny and the purpose out of leaders like you. That's you, friend. Scroll down to here, purchase vision and strategy workbook. Click that link. It's going to pull up. Actually, let me do this so you can see for sure. I forgot I was logged in. Boom. Go here. Click this link. It's going to go to the website. This is the workbook. Cultivating Vision and Strategy. Right? Some of y'all are like, I don't know what my gifts are. This is going to help you discover what your gifts are. Right? Some of y'all are like, I don't know what I should do. I don't know. Okay, I know my gifts, but I don't know any opportunities. This is going to help you figure out what opportunities you need to pursue, how you can create new opportunities, and which ones you should and should not pursue based upon your gifts. This is what it means when we say stay in your lane. Anytime you recognize your gifts and you utilize your gifts, guess what happens? Anytime you do that, anytime you utilize your gifts and you discover your gifts, the first thing that happens when you do that is you clear up all the riffraff, all your competition. Why? Because there's so many people in your market and in what you want to do that are not gifted for it. Every hairstylist don't have growing hands. Some of them just in there doing hair. Some of them not that good at it, right? There's a lot of cleaning businesses out there, but they don't clean the way that you do. They don't get that thing spotless the way that you do. There's a lot of people in branding. Doesn't mean that they get it the way that you do. Y'all look, one of the things I do, there's 1,000,001 coaches out there, but guess what? They don't get the results that I get. They don't get the results that I get. So much so that I had to start focusing on marketing because most of my clients, I got a little lazy with marketing because most of my clients come from referrals. Hey, I heard that, you helped their team start doing more sales. How do I do that? So and so told me you had this program and they already seeing more clients in their business. How do I do that? To the point to where I realized I wasn't marketing for myself or for my company at all, and I was completely relying on referrals. Well, that's stupid, right? But whenever you use your gifts, you automatically clear the playing field for yourself. The problem is that if I were to ask you right now, what are your gifts? Name 5 gifts of yours. Could you answer the question? If you're watching the chat right now, put your comment what one of your gifts are. Put in the chat. And once y'all do that, we'll move on. We will move on. So maybe one of the things that I see too is, maybe you can't afford one-on-one coaching. Maybe you're like, man, I really like her. I get on her lives, things like that, but I just cannot afford one-on-one coaching. You can afford this vision workbook. Y'all spend more than that at Chick-fil-A. And I will give you, if you purchase it while we're on the live and you finish it today, and you could finish it on your phone, you could type it in on your phone, open up GoodNotes, type it in using GoodNotes, pull up the PDF using GoodNotes, and I will send you the direct coaching today. So that's the first thing is you got to have a vision. You got to raise your personal standard. You got to know what you want. You got to make more money, right? Think about the people that you admire, the people that you follow online, right? What is it about their life that makes you just crave it and want to internalize all of that? This is point number 2. Point number 2 is that you have to address the issues in your current strategy. What are the issues in your life? This is what we do when we see things that we don't like. I'm gonna have to block you. Y'all have to block a lot of people. Right? What are the issues in your life? What are the things that when you see it, you go like this? Is it your health? You can have the best idea in business, but when your health is bad, you don't have the energy to execute it. Let's say you did get signed and they said, can you go on tour? Will you be out there shortness of breath? What if someone decided, hey, I need 20 pieces of art? Is your time freed up to where you can create that? Is your mind freed up, or would you just immediately start stressing? If you receive your dream job offer, would you lose that? Would you lose that dream job because so much of your is messed up? Would you lose that dream job because so much of your time and energy is just confusion, you're stressed, you got stuff going on at the house, maybe you were supposed to go to counseling, you didn't go? Is it your financial life? What are the issues that are current in your life that are holding you back from being able to do the thing that is a part of your vision? What are those things? What I found is there's oftentimes people who are amazing at what they do, but they don't do it, not because they can't, because there's no room for it. There's no room for it. You trying to sandwich in a new business between anxiety, depression, disorganization, stress, somebody, baby daddy, baby mama issues, your house dirty, you need to organize this, you still ain't took the car in, you still ain't do all of this, you haven't done any of that, and you're trying to squeeze in this new idea, and there's just no room for it to breathe. You're trying to plant something and everything is together like this. There's no room for the roots to grow. So address those things. If you know you're dealing with anxiety and all that stuff, schedule a counseling appointment. Otherwise, if you don't, you're saying, I like feeling this way. That's harsh advice, but I gave that advice out earlier this week with a client. Hey, stop saying that you're in a bad place. My man is stopping me from starting a business. Is that your husband? Katrina, is that your husband? If you ain't scared, answer. Your fiance. Okay, great. What is it that the reason why he's telling you not to do it? Why is he advising you not to do it? Is he advising you because he can see that maybe there's no room for it? Controlling. He's like, I won't have time for the kids. Okay. Well, I mean, ask yourself, is there time for it? Are things organized? This is one of the things, and that's why I think you need to download that workbook. And if you download it today, I will definitely respond. You download it and you finish it today, I will respond to you and give you direct coaching via email. If you download it and email it to me when you're done. One part that's in the workbook that's important is when you establish a vision, who all is involved? Communicating with them, right? To where that could be a legitimate concern. Are your lives full? Right? What needs to be organized to make more room for the business? Who do you need to get on the same page with you? Because especially when you have kids and you have help and you have all these other things, y'all got to be on the same page. Or you got to make sure that your help is in order. What's disorganized? Right? And so sometimes, now, have I seen it to where it's just out of selfishness? Yes. But sometimes it's because our partners see something that we don't see. And the other thing too is he's willing to lose me. Well, I mean, I think that may be something that y'all may have to go take to a counselor, because this is one thing that does happen when it is time for you to reach goals and it's time for you to push and to grow. It often reveals issues in the relationship that need to be addressed. Right? And why this new thing is triggering. Right? And I think this is also something that you guys need to do. That's why I would download it, fill it out, because a lot of times people will stop you from pursuing a half-hearted goal. Like, one thing about men is men are very but do it now. If you do it now while I'm on this live and you finish it, I will send you feedback. If not tonight, by tomorrow morning, meaning late tonight, meaning by the time you wake up, you'll see it. I get up pretty early. So people be like, girl, why are you emailing at 7:00 in the morning, 5:00 in the morning? But I like to do those types of things while everybody else is asleep. So by the time you wake up, you have everything you need, right? So you're going to email it to me. All that's in my bio. So go to the link in my bio, download Cultivating Vision and Strategy, download it, fill it out. It's about 30 pages. Email it to me tonight. And another thing too is sometimes we'll have this goal, like, I want to start a business, but you don't have a plan. You don't have a strategy. One way of knowing that you don't have a strong vision is you have a hard time communicating your vision. And so if you are dealing with a man, a lot of times they want to hear hard facts. What are you doing? Why are you doing it? How do you plan on making money? What's this? How much time is it going to take? What's going to be that? Like, it's going to be boom, 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 boom. When are you going to do it? How? Yes. Oh, you're new here, Katrina. Yes. Go ahead and follow me. They're going to want to know all of those different things. And typically, if you don't have those things in order, you just say, I want to start a business. It just sounds like a hobby that's going to cost money and time. But these are also things to where, when you marry someone, right, you also marry their purpose. You marry their desires. These are things that you want to talk about, beforehand, right? Yeah, you want to talk about these things beforehand. So that way, when you do go about your next thing, you and your partner are on the same page. And from your responses, it seems like y'all aren't on the same page, which is okay. It's just, what are you going to do about it? So making sure that you guys have the vision in place, you have the strategy in place, and when you have a vision, you have a strategy in place, you can pursue it aggressively. You won't waste a lot of time. And sometimes we procrastinate because there's too many question marks and there's too much cloudiness behind what we're doing, and it doesn't seem clear. What the workbook is going to do is help you to make things clear. So that was point number 2, is address the issues that occur in your life. Sometimes we'll see that there's an issue, something that's holding us back, and we'll almost wait for it to pass like a hurricane. That's not how life works. It's not going to just pass. Things have to be addressed. I'm in the UK. Can you cater towards UK law? Well, right now, it's not necessarily that you need a law right now. Right now, you need a vision. We can do business strategy or what have you, but you're still in the formation side to it, to where you need clarity there. And I have clients all over the place. So the answer is yes, but that's not the phase, and that's not where you are in this process. And sometimes we try to take everything in and we try to think 10 steps ahead. But what you got to do is handle things step by step by step. Because if you're thinking about step 10, but you never took step 1, step 10 is irrelevant to you because you haven't even started. Until you get to the formation portion, there's no purpose of thinking 10 steps ahead because you haven't even done the work for the first step. Take things in bit by bit by bit. Most people cannot handle making that many changes at once. So I always like to break things down into small steps, execute on the small steps, then we go to the next. Then we go to the next. Then we go to the next. For my own business, I can help people market theirs, or I give you some ideas, but I'm not someone who executes on those things. But I do have contacts. Like if someone needs help with branding and marketing, I have contacts of people who are experts in that area. So what I do is say, hey, look, this is your goal. This is how we're going to strategize to get you there. These are the things that need to be taken care of. And if there are things that require for me to pull in a specialist, I'll pull one in. I'll send you a recommendation. But what I found is that most people in the beginning forms, right, they need simple strategies. And then once they get their business to a certain level, then you start getting more complex. Most people need help with the basics. In our minds, we think we have all these big things to do. But even when I go into $100 million company, right, and I'm consulting with them, okay, I need you, my ideas jumbled. Start with the workbook. Write the vision and make it plain. Writing is cathartic. That's why I have this workbook. Because if your ideas are jumbled, I can't even help you with your idea until you get it unjumbled. That's why I made it a workbook to where I don't have to sit down with you for an hour to do it, right? Because it costs way more. Download it, fill it out, and you're going to get some aha moments with just doing that alone. You're going to get it out on paper. I have some very important questions on there, right? It's written in an order that allows you to identify it to where you're going to have a very aha moment. So, and that's another thing too. Think about it. If your ideas are jumbled and you just told your fiance you want to start a business, why would he encourage you to just jumble business? Right? Yeah. So download it today. If you do it while I'm on this live and you finish it today, it's late in the UK. What is it, like 7:40, almost 8 o'clock? Download it. Do it before you go to bed. Is it 8 o'clock? Let me see. I think there's 6 hours ahead, 6 or 7, depending on where you are. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So almost 7 o'clock in London anyway. So depending on where you are, okay, 6 p.m., nearly 7. All right. Yeah. So that's what I thought. So download it now, fill it out, email it to me, and you'll get my response by morning time for me, afternoon for you. So about lunchtime. And you can read over the response at lunch, but get your aha moments. And that way, if you do, let's say you do repitch your fiance, you're pitching him from a place of clarity and not trying to get him to buy into your half half-baked idea. Not that it's not a good idea. You haven't gone through the details. This is right. No, don't let it get to you. It shouldn't get to you. Just think logically, right? It would be like me going to pitch someone to invest in my business and I only had half of a pitch deck. And I said, hey, I want to sell juice that people are going to like. And I want $50,000 for a juice bar. Okay, well, what makes it different? Well, I have a couple ideas, but I haven't really pinpointed one. Oh, okay. What's the branding going to be like? Who's your target audience? Well, I mean, I think everyone likes juice. Okay, are you going to have a storefront? Is this going to be a subscription service? Well, I was kind of going back between the two of those. And then they're like, oh, okay, cool. So what are you going to do different? Oh, well, I'm going to do da, 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 da. They'll be like, no. So we do the same thing with other people when it comes to our ideas, right? Now, it could be that maybe you do have an idea that you need to get clarity on, or sometimes, I know I don't share my ideas with people who are going to speak negativity into it. Like if it's just out of selfishness, if it's just out of negativity, a lot of times I won't share it. Hello, Mr. Madoa, right? I won't share it, but download it and do what you need to do. Okay, so we're gonna move on to point number 3 because I gotta move on, y'all. I got a busy day today. Remove the parameters. Y'all, we create boundaries around everything else but what we're supposed to be creating boundaries around. Put boundaries around that food that keep inboxing you. Block them. Put boundaries around that toxic family member. Yes, it's all of that's in my bio. Click the link in my bio. It has literally everything there. If you want to see on YouTube, if you want to get on my email list, if you want to download the workbook, if you want to go to my website, everything you have is right there. If you want to schedule a session, it's there. Everything is there. Okay. So we put boundaries around everything but what we're supposed to put boundaries around. We should be putting boundaries around our toxic ex, boundaries around fools that's DMing us, boundaries around our screen time, boundaries around what we're watching, boundaries around, what we're consuming, how we're eating, exercise, health, things of that nature. But this is what I hear all the time. Yannick, I want to experience an unlimited amount of success as long as I don't have to XYZ. I am willing to do. One example I gave was this woman online. She was like, exactly. I saw this woman online and she was complimenting some artist's body, like, oh, look at that body, honey. I will do anything except eat right and exercise to get a body like that. It was funny for me to hear, but I was like, you know what? My clients do the same thing to me. Yannick, I want to, you said so-and-so had a 400% return. So-and-so called me. They told me that you've been the one that they've been working with. They want to see this. They want to see that. We get into the conversation. They're like, oh, I don't really want to do that. I don't want to have to sell my own products. I don't want to have to do this. I don't want to have to do that. I don't want to get up early. I don't want to do this. Oh, okay, cool. We can talk at 7 a.m. Well, that's a little too early for me. Y'all, whatever it is that you want to do, you've got to be willing to remove the parameters. And typically the parameters that we have are exactly what we need. If you've tried everything else around it, go to the age-old foundations. Many of the boundaries that we put up or the parameters around success that we have are the exact things that are going to work. Simple age-old things, right? Like we talked about, exercising, right? You want to get healthy? It's really easy, right? Eat less, move more, and eat more of great things. We'll do everything else but that. We'll buy everything else. We'll do every fad, everything, and then get mad when it doesn't work, or if it only works for 6 months. Why? Because the reason it didn't work is because the foundation was already there. Sometimes the foundation is the shortcut. Foundational teachings are what makes the thing last. It's the process that helps you to do it. And the reason that many times we put parameters around it is because we assume that we're going to have to do that forever. Hey, you know what? In the early stages of me being an entrepreneur, I worked 12-hour days. I didn't have to work 12-hour days forever, but I did it when it was in the growth phase. but it wasn't forever. Maybe in the beginning stages, you have to cut back on a lot of calories. Maybe you stop drinking sodas. Okay, cool. Well, get your health and everything back where it needs to be. And maybe you go to one soda a day. Maybe you don't have to go completely no, right? But we'll put parameters around our success, and then we'll be boundless around everything else. We'll be like, oh yeah, I can do whatever I want and everything else. But when it comes to doing the things that you know are going to help you, right? Suddenly we have all these likes and dislikes. Remove all the parameters and all the boundaries. Most of the time, our business is screaming what it is that we need to do to take it to the next level. We'll be like, I don't want to do that. Well, you know what else you don't want to do? Make money, grow, not be worried for the next 5 years, lose money. Those are also the things you're saying that you don't want to stop doing. You don't want to stop losing money. You don't want to stop doing this. You don't want to stop having crazy employee turnover, right? So remove the parameters. What are the things that you're not doing just because you don't feel like it? What are the things you're not doing because they're inconvenient or they hurt too much? And do them. You've had all this time of doing whatever it is that you want to do. Cool. Let's say you've been undisciplined. Just take whatever age you are and say, I've had 48 years of being undisciplined. So for the rest of my life, I'm going to be disciplined. I've put in my time of being undisciplined. I've put in my time of being disorganized. I've put in my time of being a quitter. I've put in my time of talking bad about myself. I put in my time of being a people pleaser. I put in my time. Cool. Now it's time to do something different. I got to do whatever I wanted for that amount of time. I put in plenty of time binge watching. I binge watched all summer. Now it's winter time. Now it's back to school season. Let me get into play. So remove all the parameters, right? And the last thing is stop worrying about it. Everything that you worry about is typically a sign of two things. One, you just don't have you have a lack of faith in God and yourself and your ideas, your gifts, your everything. And most importantly, what I see is that you don't have a plan. Put a plan together. Think about what you want to do and put a plan together and execute on that plan. If you're spending a lot of time executing on your plan, you don't have time to worry. Y'all, I have too much to do today to worry about my business. I just have too much to do. And by the time, I already know that by the time I'm done with my day today, I'm not going to have time to worry. I'm going to get in my bed, hopefully with some lavender smell, and pass out. I don't have time to worry. When you are busy, you are not worrying. Sometimes I'm too busy to complain. It's hard to complain when you still have. Y'all, that's my to-do list for today. My to-do list. I don't have time to worry. It's just too much to do. So those are indicators that you have to get busy with what you're doing. If you don't have a plan and you need a simple one, download the workbook. If you need help getting a plan, set up a discovery call with me. I'll help you out. Come with one issue, and during the call, we'll get to the bottom of that one issue, and then we could decide what's the best steps moving forward. If all you need is that one thing, then cool. We'll high five. We'll move on. And look, you can check emails and do all that stuff. Join the monthly email and just go from there, right? But everything that you worry about, it's an indicator that there is a lack of a plan in place. Then you got to get into why there's not a plan. Are you addicted to worrying? Sometimes we're addicted to worrying. Are you distracted? Are you dealing with a lot of anxiety? Are you wasting your time? Do you have a lack of vision to where it doesn't feel purposeful to you? Right? And the last thing is just, going back to it, get your house in order. Sometimes I find that people have there's strategies that we can use, but they don't implement it because there's so much going on up here that there's just no space for it. You haven't there's no room in your mind to execute. Leadership is a soulish type of thing. What I mean by that, your soul is your mind, your will, and your emotions. Anything that you lead, it's going to require for your mind to be right, your mind to be at peace. You got to be motivated. You got to want to do it, right? And you've got to be emotionally stable to do it and to do it consistently. So if you know your house ain't in order, you better get with the Lord. You wouldn't believe the number of people that I meet that have great ideas, great businesses, great everything. And the reason why the thing isn't growing has nothing to do with their strategy. It's just that they have too much going on up here that they haven't addressed. They trying to operate business half crazy. It don't work that way. Why? Because the pressure, there comes with pressure, right? Pressure either busts pipes or makes diamonds. And typically, if you haven't made mental and spiritual room for your goal, for what you want to do, every time you start it, you're going to bust the pipe. You're going to have a breakdown. You're going to quit halfway. And you're not quitting because it's hard. You're quitting because you didn't take care of the things that were going on emotionally that you need to do to move this thing forward. So y'all, today's live is short. For those of you guys who you're like, look, I need to at least start with a vision or a plan, right? Do the work to make sure that happens. Click the link in my bio. For those of you guys who are watching on YouTube, I'm going to go ahead and drop that in the chat so that you can see it, right? But it starts off with a plan. Y'all, no one's going to come and save you. Jesus already died for our sins. He ain't going back on that cross again. That's already done and finished. You're either in or you're out when it comes to that. You just got to decide to become in. Once you get that, the rest, you got to operate on your gifts. Hey, look, I gave you the gift. I gave you the power. I gave you the authority. I gave you the ideas and everything about this is the beautiful part. Everything about how you are made supports what you do. One of the things my husband told me, he says, you know what? The Lord showed me why you talk so loud. He said, because God made your voice to where it can be heard all the way from in the back of the room. Meaning there's going to be people listening here and people listening way back there. And he made your voice to where the people that's way back there, they can hear you too. Right? He's like, that's why you're so extra. They're going to be able to hear you, see you and everything. I said, ain't that the truth in Jesus' name? Right? Everything about you is already created to support your gift, to support your idea, to support your business, to support your dreams. But you got all the materials, but you got to put it together. And if you refuse to put it together, we got to address why, friend. Why won't you put it together? So y'all, if you know that's you, continue to follow. Download the workbook. We're going to start there. It's too late for y'all to get into 30 to Eden. Thank you guys to everyone who signed up that are already doing work. Those of y'all who watch the playbacks and everything like that, still been emailing your homework, everything, great. It's too late for you to do that, but this is one simple way. Get the workbook today while we're on here. Finish it tonight and I'll give you guys feedback. But y'all, I got to finish my day. Love y'all. Bye. I'll see y'all tonight for Bible study and next week for the live. Look, I forgot to end y'all on here. Bye, y'all.